Today on Media Alert Sandwich, we are at Motor City SteamCon, and who do we talk to?
Well, let's check it out. We got lots of people on the way. Lots of steampunkers, so stick around. You know why?
We have artists, vendors, all sorts of different people.
And no pod bros. Oh, wait, there's podcasters too.
What was that?
Welcome to Media Alert Sandwich, the podcast where we know it's time to record 5 minutes after we already started recording. We take all your favorite pieces of media and just delay it just a little bit so you can take a nice chunky bite out of it. Media Alert Sandwich. We are actually at Motor City SteamCon today, and I've been talking to so many people yesterday and today. We got podcasters, authors, more video, other video broadcasters. There's bands here, and they all seem to have this thing with steampunk. But before we start talking about that, because it's all about my friend William from
allaboutwilliam.com.
And to his right, it gets a little crazy with
crazymark.com.
And I'm Scotty Miley, better known as Toaden from Toaden.com, youtube.com/ToadenK, and this is Media Alert Sandwich. You can always find us at MediaAlertSandwich.com and Pod Bros, and of course iTunes, Stitchers, and other places where you find podcasts where Media Alert Sandwich happens to be at, so who knows. So we keep finding authors and stuff. What you guys experience? You guys have been talking to a lot of people as well.
Yeah, I've noticed that there's a wide variety of different authors and different kinds of people here, not just artists like I see at Comic-Cons,
right?
Which has been very interesting.
Yeah, I like the feeling here where it's more like an event and a huge family gathering from all over the U.S. They just, they converge down here into the Detroit Wayne area by the airport. And boom, it's like a big family of everything from, it's a culture, It's not just Superman and Wonder Woman, it's a culture.
Yeah, and it's their own characters, and it seems like, a lot of the artists take those characters, or maybe they improve. I'm not quite sure. Let's ask an artist, let's ask an author how they envelop this. Do we have one in the audience?
I'll answer your question for you here, sir.
Look, and I see on her name tag, her name is Susan.
Susan Hilwig, yes, hi. Yeah, I'm actually a local author. I self-published a book about 7 months ago, Swords and Six Guns: An Outlaw's Tale, and we show this off for the viewing audience at home. Here we are. Point it right at my eyeball. That's where the voice comes out. Yeah.
There we go.
There we are. I'm short. I'm need adjusting. But yeah, I've been selling it here, and to be honest, I'm myself pretty new to the steampunk community. My friend and editor on the book, Carrie Moyer, she introduced me into this. She said, even though you're not necessarily writing straight steampunk, this fits in the community. They welcome all sorts of stuff in here. They're actually here, as opposed to most conventions where everybody has a table. The authors, they're kind of catering to the authors here. There's a room right below us, right below our feeties here, that's nothing but books. They call it the writer's block, and you can just, authors like me, we go in, we drop off books, and they sell it like a little bookstore.
That's awesome.
So which is nice. That means I can walk around and I can run into nice podcast people that are doing things. And I can come up here and do this, and I'm not chained to a table. Huh?
And so this is your first
This is my first steampunk convention. The book actually fits more under a weird Western vibe. It's a little bit of Westerns, a little bit of sci-fi fantasy, a little bit of horror.
Mm-hmm. Cowboys and aliens, eh?
Not necessarily aliens, but I've been pitching it as you have Old West outlaw, you throw him in a medieval-style world, and then you throw zombies at him. So...
You just said the magic word.
I know,
Zombies.
I started writing this before the big zombie hoopla exploded, actually. It took me quite a while to get this out.
I see you incorporate parts of this into your outfit.
Yeah, this is actually, for the most part, my normal clothes, but my friend Carrie, again, she's like, you can just wear like regular Western stuff and it'll fit.
Yes.
For the
belt actually I bought here yesterday. This belt I just bought yesterday.
Oh, nice.
We're gonna show it off. Fashion place.
For those that listen to the audio version, the video version is completely different.
Yeah, you can actually
And if you're
check
standing
out
on the
those.
side, you're more than welcome to sit down and see the video person in person.
Yes.
Yeah, and check
Fezzes
out
are cool.
Here,
they're
you
wearing.
and Fezzes, come here.
Yes, are they?
There are many
fashion
Fezzes
plates?
here.
Yes, step forward, folks, and
You get
a gander.
It really is a shame if you are doing this audio only. There is a lot to see here, and like I said, they incorporate just about everything to steampunk. There's been a lot of Star Wars steampunk I've been running into today. There is a little. I don't know if you'd call it a pedal car or what, but it's a steampunk Slave 1.
Hey, I saw the TIE
downstairs.
fighter down there.
And the TIE fighter, and there was a steampunk Boba
Yeah.
Fett riding it around the parking lot a couple hours ago.
Right
and all,
on.
and
I
all
do
the
like those,
straights that here at the hotel are going, what the hell is
steampunk
this?
modified
Okay, so getting back to writing.
Yes, no
Is
problem.
this your first book?
This is my first published book. Yeah,
Okay.
It took me a while to get the manuscript done, and it took 8 years of trying to get it published. Where I said, "To heck with this, we're going to do self-publishing." So this is month 7 of going out and shilling it to people.
And you said this is kind of your first foray into the steampunk community.
Yeah, it's about into the community. Yeah, this is definitely the first. When I first started writing it, I didn't even know what steampunk was. It just so happened that some sort of parallel evolution happened, that I was writing something that fit something I didn't know existed. So I got lucky.
Wow. And,
Yeah.
and how has the steampunk community reacted?
It's been good. It's been good so far. Folks are liking it. You know, everybody's like, come on in. It doesn't matter if you're new. We're gonna take you in, and we're gonna embrace you, and we're gonna stick little bits of gear on you. So
We're gonna
it's been
add to
nice.
your wardrobe.
We're gonna add to your
We will.
wardrobe. Yes.
Yeah, I mentioned doing something steampunk on, and then I got like a little necklace. Hey, you need to buy this. You're a frog. You're a toad.
Yes.
You need this.
They
You
will,
should check
they will
this out.
accessorize you. Yes. But yeah, I came in and I was so actually my friend Carrie is now standing in the corner. Hello,
Hi,
Carrie.
Carrie.
She helped edit this book, and I was asking, what do I wear? What's okay? How do I not look like a noob? And she's like, it doesn't matter. You're fine. And then she came over to the house. She's like, you're gonna put this on and this on and this on. And then somebody gave me this yesterday, this little rainbow heart gear thing. So they're slowly adding to me.
That's awesome. And I'm looking in the audience. And I see people I know. We go to so many conventions, and it's crazy to see them at other conventions. And you see people come together in the steampunk way, and you guys just look way more comfortable here than you do at a Comic-Con
And by the
or
way,
at a bar
there
with
is-
zombies.
Yes.
There is so much
Or-
crossover
Just
in
so you
this
know, we
thing.
have the hula hands out here in the audience. Hey, what's up?
Yes, and we also have Chris from another podcast. Let me get Autopilot. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you for letting me talk.
Let's get Autopilot up here.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you.
Automan.
Cheers. So what's happening?
Wow, you are no stranger to podcasts. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about you, and then about this character.
A little bit about myself. We go from short to tall. That's okay. I'm a stage-trained actor. Myself, I've been working in and around the Detroit area, acting, performing, cosplaying, general facilitator of happiness for years. A couple years ago, I joined Dirk Belligerent doing the Culture Vultures podcast. We're about to move to Podcast Detroit. Our inaugural show will be next Friday, actually.
We love Podcast Detroit. We're with Pod Bros,
Yeah.
but we have a lot of love for Podcast Detroit.
Well, we've been with a couple different stations, and Dave from Podcast had been talking to both myself and Dirk and said, let's get you guys over here. So as a good autopilot, I instructed my mentor, the guru, don't make no mistake, Dirk does all the heavy lifting. I'm Vanna. I spin letters and bring, basically I'm the eye candy. Any other questions for me?
So what I know what you usually talk about.
Yes, sir.
So do you still talk about the Z word?
Yes, zombies are a big part of it. How you doing? But it's also pop culture, everything. Movies, television, music, gaming. Pardon me. Ooh. It's very dry in here. Plus, I'm crouched over, so
See anyone?
I don't
Because I
my-
have tea for
I
the
don't have my-
gentleman.
Oh, I'd kill for a spot of tea right now. Let me tell you, my pipes are drier than the Sahara. Just flew in from Dublin. Boy, my arm's tired. I should have swam it, but I flew it anyway. Well, there's steam and smoke.
It's because you do a lot of characters. I mean, I've seen you as Eugene from Walking Dead.
Yes, that's true.
And then you swap over to.
I've done Eugene Negan, comic book governor. I've done Abraham, where I actually paint my hair orange, and for me it's the scowl, because I actually know the actor who plays the role. We're actually friends, and the first time I came walking up, he was speechless. Cudlitz just looks at me and he's like, "Yeah, okay."
So how does that, is this all just an extension and then you go up and just talk about your fandoms on the podcast?
Yeah, we talk about everything. It's not just the zombie genre. It's movies, television, pop culture. My co-host is an IT guy and a total tech nerd, so we've got major portions that cover gaming and IT, and basically I'm there with everybody else who doesn't know IT going, So I kind of talk people down off the ledge who are thinking, that we're talking about too much, because me on a computer is basically a monkey.
Yeah,
monkeys are actually better.
So
They
you
type
basically
better.
are the part that relates to the audience.
Yes, I'm the everyman. I'm, like I said, I'm a facilitator.
Well, you're
of
also an
happiness.
autopilot, apparently.
True. Well, you just push the button, and I won't show my valve because we are videoing, right? There is a video of this, so you can't see the valve. But trust me, always fully inflated and ready to go. I am your autopilot. I'm like Culture Vultures.
Go ahead and plug your website real quick.
Okay, it's www.culturevulturesradio.com. If you look it up on Google, you'll see Culture Vultures 313 blog Detroit. Like I said, we're going to be on Podcast Detroit's Friday nights at 7, just like our old slot. So, but if you want to hear, Dirk really does a great job with show notes, videos, everything that we talk about. You can see on our website on culturevulturesradio.com. So, if you listen to the show and you're feeling like you're being left behind, go see the show notes. He puts great stuff together. And I'm constantly amazed at what he does. I just sit there and get drunk and bring wit.
All right, fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
What was the name of the book again? I want to give that a proper shout out. Yep, I just got to turn you back up a little bit.
There we are. Thank you. The proper name of the book is Swords and Six Guns, An Outlaw's Tale. If you guys do the Facebook thing, you can look it up, facebook.com/swordsandSixguns.
Do you have a
page?
Do you have a
.com?
.com?
I don't have a .com. I have a blog, so close enough. Right here. That's Susan Hillwig, SusanHillwig .blogspot.com.
And at some point, you can actually transfer that over to your own .com.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just unfortunately just haven't really gotten around to it yet. We're still getting out there and we're promoting and all sorts of good fun stuff like that.
Hey, I'm looking at the
I
audience.
appreciate you letting me come back up.
I'm looking at the audience, and we have another pair of creators, a little bit different. We've heard from authors, we heard from podcasters. Let's talk to some vendors, maybe. Do we have any vendors that maybe create anything that maybe, anyone that wants to come up?
Yes, the Hoolahans, please step forward.
I love all of that, all the fur, all the. Again, those that are just listening to this, you should really check out the video podcast. And you can find that at Toaden.com or MediaLitterSandwich.com or Podbros. Or you can also check out good stuff from, that's your cue to say your website.
We are Wallahan's Wares, so it's WHOLIHANSWARES.com or Facebook.com/Wallahan's Wares.
A Wallahan.
Yeah, a lot of people say Houlihan, and we just kind of accept that.
I've
because
always
it's a
said
lot easier.
Houlihan because of some of the goods you sell. And go ahead and tell us about that a little bit.
I do a lot of resin work, so I have a lot of different fandoms that I absolutely love, and we do a lot of Comic-Con type stuff. We do Doctor Who, we do Star Wars, we do Star Trek, we do some anime. We do a lot of just random designs and things. So I take little gears and I'm reaching out into other organic parts, but mostly it's steampunk themed. I put them into a 2-part chemical mix and put that into a mold of whatever the shape is going to be, and then turns it into a pendant or a keychain. I also make jewelry, earrings. We sell a lot of little odds and ends, lots of accessories.
You sell this. You don't just do steampunk conventions. You do comic conventions, and give us a wide variety of the places you've been to.
We go across the board from doing high school craft shows. We do Motor City Comic Con. We do YomaCon, which is a large anime convention around here. We obviously do different steampunk events. I'm hosting what I'm calling the Mitten Punk Rock Flea Market. So we're going to be doing that. Pretty much anywhere that'll take us that we think people will be interested in the stuff that we make, we're willing to be there.
You know what? I received an email having to do with that flea market. What is it that you're creating? Tell us more about it.
So just at the beginning of this year, my husband, Mark, who is out in the audience, and I opened a nonprofit 501c3 community center for the city of Inkster.
Nice.
If anybody doesn't know about Inkster, we're pretty impoverished. They closed our public schools for all the youth, so all the youth are bussed out to local areas. We don't have a lot of positive things for anybody to get involved in, but we're a little bit focused on the youth ourselves. So the Punk Rock Flea Market that we're having is our biggest fundraiser for this summer. All of the raffle money that we get, all of the entry money, which is $1 to enter and $5 if you want to stay for the bands that are playing, will go to our building fund so we can have an actual brick and mortar community center for the kids in Inkster. Nice. And it's all kinds of different vendors, but we're kind of focusing on, like the punk rock aesthetic. So we'll have a lot of different leatherworking people there. We have comic book artists. We're going to have our table there. A lot of different thrifting people who go to the thrift store, put together an outfit, maybe put patches or spikes or whatever on things.
Man, it sounds like the 60s all over again, very bohemian.
Yeah, and we're going to have bands playing at the same time. So we did a thing on our Facebook where people voted on a few bands that they were interested in seeing. And we're going to announce who the winners were probably next week. And we also have 2 bands that we had previously booked. One of them is called Womb, which is War on Man Babies. They're a hardcore band from Detroit.
Right on.
And then we have another band called Lung, which is a band from Cincinnati, which is an electric cello and a drummer, and they're amazing. So we're pretty excited for the music and for all the vendors we're going to have. And we're going to do raffles. We're going to have food trucks. We just really want to have a good time while raising money for something that we really believe in.
So it's going to be indoor and outdoor event?
It's going to be outdoor.
Outdoor?
Oh,
yep.
Right
great.
On.
It is actually, we're using a parking lot, which is attached to an old multi-bay car wash. So some of the people are going to be set up inside of the bays in the car wash, and everybody else is going to be set up under tents and things. It's on Inkster Road, just south of Michigan Avenue. So,
sweet.
And that's August 26th.
All right. Do you have a website for that?
Is there a website on that?
There is a Facebook page for that, and that is facebook.com/Mitten Punk Rock Flea Market. Or if you go to the Wall of Hands Wears website or our Facebook, we have information for it there too.
Right on.
That's fantastic.
We're pretty excited.
It's like you're not only doing the vending, you're also doing all this charity work.
Yeah.
Do you and your husband have day jobs? You don't have to tell me what it is.
I have 2 day jobs, and my husband has a full-time day job. He is a bus mechanic. I work at a hotel, and I also work at an after-school program in the area.
Well, you work at a hotel, but somehow you're still able to go to a bunch of conventions. Because I assume hotels a lot of weekend work.
Well, at the hotel, I've been there for almost 10 years, and I do sales work, so I'm able to work from home, and I'm also able to pick the schedule that I go in for, so that's the only way that I'm still able to work there. The after-school program's Monday through Thursdays, and it's in the afternoon, so that opens up my weekends to be able to do the different events and fundraisers that we do.
Wow, that's fantastic. Do you guys have any other questions?
I'm pretty much good to go. Do you have any final words about what you're doing?
We really believe in community, whether it's the community of Comic-Cons, the community of steampunk, the community of music, or the community of our actual people in our community. And we think it's really important to make sure that you build relationships and that you are good to the people around you and that you're open and that you're understanding. And that's something that we hope that through the many different avenues that we do things that we can promote and put out there in the world.
I just want to make a quick note to those that might not live in the area that Inkster is within the area of Detroit, very close to Detroit. And a lot of newspapers and statistics, when they say dangerous cities, and they're not just saying like large cities, Inkster being a very small city with less than 20 police officers, I believe it's 12 last I've heard. They're usually number 1 actually in dangerous cities if you count small suburbs as well as large cities.
Hey, Toaden.
So that's fantastic work.
When I moved over here from out east, around Washington, D.C., that's one of the first things people told me here is don't break down in Inkster.
Yeah.
There is something to
I've
keep in
worked
mind
in-
with that. When you talk to people outside of Detroit, they will give you a terrible version of Detroit that they've heard. So Inkster does have a high crime rate, but it's not like you walk down the street and you're going to get snatched. It's crime where people are trying to steal items to make money to be able to survive because of the poverty level that we have and because of the lack of income and the lack of jobs. So we are technically a very high crime rate area. I've lived there for 8 or 9 years now, and I've had a bike stolen from my front yard once. So it's
and
not
I have noticed a
personal
change.
crime like
I
that.
drove through there the other day, and it's changed a lot over the past 4 years. Just like Detroit, these
Definitely.
last few years have done a lot of good things.
Lots of
and
good.
this and I thought that was very important to bring up, and I really thank you for talking about this because this is Motor City SteamCon.
Yes, it
Motor
is.
City
Right
is
on.
in the words. We're not in Detroit, but we take pride in that we're in the area.
Definitely.
I mean, and also Romulus Steam, Com doesn't have the same ring.
effect. Did you know
No.
technically, really weird random fact, the airport itself, if you are writing a letter to the airport or sending a bill to the airport, which I often do, is the city of Detroit. You do not write Romulus, Michigan. You write Detroit, Michigan,
Yep.
and a Detroit zip code.
Yep.
I did not know that.
Random
it's actually
little tidbit.
Detroit. Yeah.
Right on.
You know?
Wow, mind blown.
I'm
Thank you
speechless.
for thank you for talking with us.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Rosie. Thank you, Mark. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Uh-oh. Let's bring the mic. There we go.
Hello,
What's
sir.
up?
Why did you jump in the pool?
To get to the other side. No, I had quickly put together a diver's outfit. I literally started putting it together Monday night. Went to work Tuesday, so on and so forth. So I had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night to put something together. I was basing the thing on a vintage diving helmet and working with what I had. I was at least happy enough to walk out the door with it. And then talking to someone here, I'm like, okay. He wanted video of me coming up out of the water. So I had to get in the water.
That's awesome. And I assume that could promote something that you do if they get video of your costume.
In what way?
I don't know. Are you trying to promote like your character or anything, or are you just here to have fun?
I was just having fun.
That's awesome.
And hoping
Awesome.
I didn't leave a big rainbow slick in the pool. Because I didn't know how color fast the suit was going to be.
Oh yeah.
mean,
So
So-
how concerned, besides the paint, were you concerned about any other parts of the outfit?
Not really, because, if anything should go wrong, the pool's only 5 feet deep. I stood up, I could breathe.
Okay.
You know, you look like a mounted police or something, but you're not mounted right now. You're just a police.
I'm unmounted, but yes, RCMP or GRC, which jokingly stands for Gravel Road Cop, but is actually French for Jesus, I forget.
Garçon.
Yes,
So this gentleman behind you, do you guys know each other?
not really. Friend of a friend of a friend of a friend of maybe somebody related to somebody who I work with.
It's all family here then.
Apostrophe dog.
All right. I see one, we have time to talk to one more person, and I see someone that should really come up here because she might have ran another con at some point.
Just might
Yeah,
have.
maybe.
Might have. Like,
Yeah.
get over here now.
Anybody? Anyone
Alrighty.
else have a taste for tea
The
or
curly exit.
Oh, yes. All hail the king.
I love this. You meet so many people at cons and places,
how's this?
and I could just and you recognize them, and you see even though they're in a different environment, they just blend right in. So, what's your name and what do you do?
My name is Susan Stahl, and by day I work for Quicken Loans. On my spare time, spare time I have, I am con chair for Continuum.
And Continuum used to be known as Conclave. Now it's the Continuum.
Correct. We are
and our
continuing.
good friend Missy Mills also helps out with PR. So she would yell at me and probably hit me if I didn't ask you some awesome questions about the Continuum. But let's go ahead and link it with the other cons in this area, because you participate. You've done things here. What are some of the panels and things you've done here?
No panels, however.
Okay.
I am one of the ladies that puts on the formal teas.
Mm-hmm.
I am logistics and menu creator. So we had 3 very successful formal teas this weekend. I also help out with the open tea room. I grew up with afternoon tea, so tea is my thing. So that is my forte at this one.
I don't know if anyone. You grew up in America, right?
I did.
So
You
what's,
wanna-
what's
go
your
ahead.
favorite flavor of tea?
I actually, I'm very fond of the Tivana's English breakfast.
Okay.
I like it very robust. I like black tea with milk and sugar. I have the British affliction. I grew up in a British household, so
Okay.
I like my tea with milk and sugar.
I like mine, the Jean-Luc Picard special.
Oh, you like the Earl Grey?
Yes.
Ah, we actually have a Victorian-style Earl Grey. If you want a cup of tea, I'll brew you one.
All right.
We've heard one of the focuses here is authors, and Continuum has a lot to do with authors, and I know it's also steampunk. And what we're mostly, talking about is the artistic and how so many people that are participating and into these communities are, they're always doing something. They're drawing, writing, talking to a microphone, thinking no one's listening.
Yes, Continuum has a very strong literary content. So we not only invite science fiction and fantasy authors to come in and speak, we also actually ask them to come in and teach. So we encourage new authors. We like to see people come in. I want to hone my writing craft. There's always somebody there who is willing to dispense advice. Here's how you work on getting published. Here's how you can improve your writing. In addition to that, we have a very strong hard science track. We love our scientists. We have a very strong music track, always have, and that is, again, this year.
Yeah, you've had some fantastic music people. I know other cons steal them away and have them perform, and it's just one great community.
Hey, it's getting the art out there, and everybody enjoys it. So, but we are developing our film and fandom track this year. So we have invited TK2 Films in to come in and do things like how to write for a movie, what does it take to create a film, and things like that.
They just watched them. They just premiered, or not premiered, but screened a film, PingleCon, not too long ago. They seem to know what they're doing. There's other fantastic artists. There's so many film production groups in Michigan that have doing so much. It's a great community.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for talking to us.
Well, thank you.
Just another great con. And we totally are.
Merci, mademoiselle.
Thank you.
I'm the head of security.
Oh, he's the... Da-da-da. Russ Van Ness.
I'm the head of security. On top of a couple other things, I also did, we had a... oh, there you go. I am much taller than your previous guest. We did, I have a podcast as well called Nerds with Alcohol, and we did our a podcast earlier today.
Right on.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, we had about 18 people that sat in, and it's only our second one that was outside of our studio, so that was cool. And I've been, I basically just kind of walk around and try to keep the peace.
Right on.
Yeah,
Excellent.
It's not too difficult though. I mean, this is a pretty easygoing crowd. So.
It's an adult con.
It is.
At an adult and classy con,
Yeah.
You're not going to find too many drunkards flying over tables.
Oh, well,
You'd be
maybe later
surprised.
on.
These be fighting woods.
You'd be surprised.
You look at me wrong. That's it. We're going down.
The steampunk crowd does tend to skew a little older, You know, there tend to be people. The average tends to be a little bit older, so they don't like party like frat boys. But we had the party that went on last night got pretty nuts. We did have to shut it down a little early because of noise complaints. So
What were they doing? Just like louder voices than usual? I mean,
there was a copious amount of drinking.
oh,
Copious, and then the music got pretty loud. It sounded very similar to like a junior high school dance from the late 80s, early 90s.
and you
There's
know,
a lot of music of that era.
Yeah, I stopped in at a bar the other night, and a sound guy there was telling me that the 80s have definitely come back. The 80s music is the new classic music.
Does that make you feel old? It's just,
Yeah, it's like Poison.
I
yeah.
love
hurts
hearing
me,
my
man.
90s
I
music
never-
on classic rock. You know,
Yeah, that's-
Nirvana being, it's classic rock.
that
How's
ticks
that
me
make you-
off, man. Every time
I had to explain Nirvana to one of my coworkers, and I actually found myself saying the actual words when I was your age.
yeah, that's a bitter pill to swallow.
That is.
Oh.
I
that
saw
is.
a Snapchat of somebody, a young person, probably high school. She's wearing a Nirvana shirt, and on the radio or whatever, music's playing is "Smells Like Teen Spirit," I believe.
Diamond Dallas Page theme.
And they asked her what band is playing. She's like, I don't know who this is.
It's the Diamond
It's a
Dallas Page
Nirvana
theme.
is now a fashion statement.
I had a rough time the first time I think I heard like Bon Jovi or I heard Guns N' Roses on the classic rock station. That was tough.
Yeah.
But I was like 13, 14 when those bands were popular. When I heard Pearl Jam, which was when I was graduating high school in the early 90s, that was painful, man. You hear that? It's just it's just sad. It's a sad day.
I was driving around in a rental car, and it had satellite radio, and there was a station dedicated to 90s music. And one of the promos is, what we're playing is over 20 years old, and it's now classic rock. It's okay.
Yeah.
We got you.
But I got to stop here 1 second because the guy I was talking to at the bar, he was referring to the 80s and hair metal.
Oh.
That's
the new
just too
classic
old. Why are we
rock.
talking about that? That's ancient.
No, that's not
missed
it.
that.
Yeah, right. Oh, I look back. Oh no, Kingdom Clone.
The good old days. It's okay.
White Snake.
We all get older, man. I did have to explain White Snake to my girlfriend at one point, a couple of days ago.
Right on.
All right, I'll go ahead and plug your podcast again.
It's Nerds with Alcohol, Nerds with Alcohol, NWA. We are what? What?
That is amazing.
NWA, Nerds with Alcohol. You can find us on Google Play. You can find us on iTunes, or you can go to the podcast, our podcast website, nerdswithalcoholshow.com, and you can download the episodes directly from the website. Listen to it on that as well. We have a Instagram and a Twitter feed, which I don't really do much with, and that's Drunken Nerds, I believe is what it is. And we don't, to give it a little perspective, we don't get hammered on the podcast. We're just it's a nerd-based podcast. We talk about what we're drinking that week. Just do a little review. So it's a good time. About 90 minutes. So
Very cool.
Yeah, dude, man, NWA. That's NWO.
NWO, right?
Yeah, Wolfpack.
Sweet.
Nerds with Alcohol. Hey, thanks guys. Thanks for letting me plug my show. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yep.
Right on. What brought you to SteamCon, Motor City SteamCon?
Every time someone asks me that question, I want to pull out my revolver.
Oh,
Because it's
hit
a
the
fan
floor.
convention and he's into Steam. Or Punk. Or Safari. What's up? It's been a very long day for us.
I was going for that Van Pelt Jamarji thing, and I got overheated, so I had to get rid of most of it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't know. I started getting into steampunk about last year or so. Usually I kind of do science fiction type of things.
Uh-huh.
I like the technical parts, but I just decided to come in here and hang out for a while.
Technical parts. Does that have anything to do with maybe your day job? Do you do IT, or do you build things like an engineer, or you just tinker with stuff?
I'm what's called an agile coach, and so I try to help people who are egomaniacs prima donnas and consider themselves self-important, get over themselves and start hacking
And you
code.
found your target. You know what? I'm sorry, I'm not hiring anybody.
No, I do software development. I'm an IT manager. It's all now. It's called servant leadership. So the idea is yours is not the biggest ego in the room anymore. So now you have to deal with everybody else's huge ego, and you got to kind of get them to kind of work together. You know.
Well, good luck in the IT field doing that.
Oh, yeah. No, it's good. It's the way to go.
Okay.
But you know that's what I do for a living. Otherwise, I love history and science fiction and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah. And they talk a lot about that here, right? Well, they talk a lot about real history here.
There are surprisingly a lot of people who actually are into history here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's people who are like millinery types. They're into like sewing and costuming, but there's a lot of people who actually really love the history part. And I love the history of the British Empire, the Victorian era. I'm starting to get into that a lot more.
Mm-hmm. Right on.
You know, imperialism. That's the way to go. You know.
A lot of interesting ideas came out of that time.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Thin red line. Civilization starts here. It's not over there. Let's go conquer the world.
Was it Margaret Sanger? Oh no, that was another time.
Margaret Sanger? Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, different type of person.
Yeah.
Well,
We could spend a lot of time talking
Yes,
about
we
Margaret
could.
Sanger.
Yes, we could.
All right, well, thank you for
Eugenics, a
talking
fun
to us.
time.
Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
Take care.
You could find us at MediaLayersSandwich.com, Toaden.com, Podbros,
Actually-
and you could find more from Mark Monster from
CrazyMark.com.
William, because it's all about him at.
Allaboutwilliam.com.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed our discussion.